Hello, play dippers! In the words of Florida Man, Poodle Flump here, a player on the Play Diplomacy website and a lover of the game of diplomacy. Glesgy Poodle, this is my after action report or AAR for game number 144119, Play Diplomacy League 1, Round 3, Game 3. So the game starts and I draw France. Only the second time I've played France. The first time, a wise player said to me, if you play France like a corner, like Turkey or England, you're likely to end up in the draw. But if you play France like Russia, with two fronts, you're likely to solo. It was good advice and I never forgot it. So messages start to fly, and I'm really very lucky with my neighbours. England, Germany and Italy are all chatty types, and I have my choice of allies. Initially, Germany suggests allying against England, and England suggests allying against Germany. Italy just suggests allying and doesn't mind which one I attack. Austria sends me a brisk message, more or less saying that there was nothing much to talk about, and Turkey and I don't particularly hit it off. I set out to really invest in my relationships with Italy, Germany, and particularly England. Even before the game gets going, I make noises about a two-way draw and a 17-17 pact with England, recognising that the English-French alliance was probably the most powerful alliance I could make. The messages continue to flow, and before long the idea of a Western Triple Alliance is suggested. Communications between England, France and Germany were regular and responsive, and they suggested that as a trio we would work well together. In addition, intelligence from other powers was suggesting that Russia and Turkey were forming a bond, which further encouraged the notion of a Western triple to counter. Italy was a little bit late to the party. Messages had been flowing for a couple of days before his arrival, and relationships and plans had already started to form. It meant that although I liked his messaging style and we got on well, he was likely to be the first French target. So first moves and standard openings for the Western Triplers. Things not looking good for Austria. Russia moves south and bounces in Galicia. Russia and Turkey bounce in the Black Sea. In Italy, believing that France is his best mate, goes hardcore after Austria and takes Trieste. In the fall, France takes Spain with a fleet, Portugal with an army, and supports England to Belgium. Things are still looking pretty bad for Austria. Italy holds Trieste. Turkey bounces Austria and Greece and takes the Black Sea. Russia takes Romania but gets bounced out of Sweden by Germany. 1901 builds. The Western Triple isn't obvious. France builds fleets in Brest and Marseille. Russia builds Moscow, leaving St. Petersburg open. Germany builds armies. Germany is looking very anti-Russian. France is looking very anti-Italian, but reassures Italy that she's just hiding and stashing some fleets down there for an English assault. Turkey and Italy both build fleets. So 1902, and France sets sail for Italy. Italy doesn't come back to defend, but carries on with his Austrian assault, taking Serbia. Russia is supported to Budapest, and he realises he needs to go north, and Moscow moves to St. Petersburg, but it's a bit too late. England convoys to Norway, and Germany charges his armies east towards Russia. Fall 1902, and Austria is gone, he's eliminated. Russia is occupying Budapest and Vienna, but loses Warsaw. Germany moves south into Tyrolia, and a battleground begins to form around Trieste, Vienna and Budapest. Italy and France bounce in Tunis. England takes Sweden. France continues to encroach on Italy, but also takes Belgium from England, and the Western Triple is going exactly according to plan. The 1902 builds was the year of the armies. Army builds for France, Italy, Russia and Germany, and a single fleet Smyrna for Turkey. Okay, so 1903, and this is where the East kind of begins to get its shit together against the West. France takes Tunis in spring so that they can take Tyrrhenian in fall, but the Turkish fleets are heading out to help. Turkey moves Greece to Albania in preparation for convoy to Apulia to help Italy hold. Italy and Turkey are working closely together. But Turkey gets a bit greedy and also takes Romania from Russia. Meanwhile, Russia retakes Galicia, and the board begins to centre around Vienna as the key East-West stalemate centre. Russia continues to collapse as England prepares to take St. Petersburg, and the German armies move to put pressure on Trieste and Vienna. In the fall, Western Triple's beginning to be stopped. Although France takes the Tyrrhenian, she can't really get any further. Turkey convoys to Apulia to hold Italy against France. England takes St. Petersburg. Turkey keeps Romania and tries to steal Sevastopol. Russia's crumbling, but Italy and Turkey are working well to slow us down. 1903 builds. Now, France has maintained communications with Italy throughout and cuts a deal. She says she'll not build a fleet, but instead offers to build an army in Paris and retreat the Tyrrhenian back to Gulf of Leon to give Italy some breathing space, which would allow him to send the Turkish army in Apulia back to Albania. Italy and France call a DMZ on the Tyrrhenian in order to try and make some progress elsewhere on the board. England builds another army to send into Russia. Turkey builds an army in Constantinople, as between them, Italy and Turkey reckon they've got enough fleet to hold off the French advance. Now, 1904 is where things begin to get a bit interesting. The Western Triples are about to be stalemated, potentially ending the game in a big draw. So they decide to try a different diplomatic angle. Now, we know Turkey's ambitious. We've seen him grab centres, and there's no love lost between Russia and Turkey. There's also no real loyalty between Italy and Turkey, just an Eastern alliance of convenience. So the Western Triplers plot some subterfuge and some fake fighting. They plan a faked disintegration of the Western Triple and a diplomatic approach to Turkey, which will involve his inclusion firstly in an England-Germany-Turkey three-way draw in exchange for his help in eliminating Italy and France, then ultimately a two-way draw with England. France retreats from Italy and prepares to make a move on Munich. Turkey takes Sevastopol in his continued attack on Russia, and Moscow is surrounded. Fall 1904. The fake disintegration of the Western Triple continues. France takes Munich. Germany takes Moscow to offset the loss. English fleets come rushing towards France in a fake assault. The French fleet goes back to the Tyrrhenian, and the Turkish army in Italy goes back over to Albania. 1904 builds. France builds Fleet Brest. Turkey builds an army in Constantinople. Spring 1905. The Western Triple continues to fake fight, with England taking the mid-Atlantic Ocean and France taking the English Channel. It works as the Allies land in Vienna, yay, which had been the Holy Grail. Turkey also stabs Italy by taking Serbia, and Italy gives his support to France. Eliminating Turkey will be a slow grind, but the Western Triple has succeeded in rolling the board, and there is much cheering in the Allied camp. Yay! Fall 1905. Germany gives Moscow to England to balance. The English fleet in the mid-Atlantic Ocean moves down to the Med. France closes the hole. Russia is hostage in Budapest and surrounded. Builds. England and Turkey both build armies. Italy disbands a fleet and is looking vulnerable, so he offers himself up as France's vassal. Spring 1906 finally sees Russia eliminated. Italy helps France into the Ionian. Fall 1906. Unremarkable save for an attempted funky convoy of Edinburgh to Greece. Turkey realises he's been duped and that the Western Triple never went away in the first place, and the public press goes a little wild, to say the least. 1906 builds. Germany gets the only build and builds an army in Kiel. Spring 1907. The Western Triple continues to roll. England takes Sevastopol, and our funky convoy of Edinburgh to Apulia works this time, supported by Italy, who's now working for France. Fall 1907. Germany moves out of the North Sea and to the Norwegian Sea, and France encroaches on both Germany and Italy. 1907 builds. Turkey disbands the army in Romania. England builds another funky convoy army in Liverpool. Go the Western Triple all the way to the finish. 1908 is the year of the German stab, the year we get a new Turkey, and the year that England-France makes good on its game-long pact, stabbing Germany and going for the Care Bear two-way draw. It's also the year Italy is all but eliminated. Spring 1908, and Italy loses Trieste to England and Venice to France. Turkey reclaims Sevastopol, but temporarily loses Romania. England and France are positioning for the stab on Germany. Germany expects to reclaim Munich after France's residence way back in 1904. Fall, and England takes Warsaw, stabbing Germany, and Budapest. France bounces Kiel out of Munich and moves into the Channel to convoy a new army to Belgium. England covers the potential for an attack on his homeland from the rogue German fleet by moving to Clyde and Norway. England-France is keen that New Turkey and Germany don't team up post-stab and make things difficult, so they approach Turkey and they offer Turkey a three-way draw. The rationale that they gave was that Turkey will have less of a centre count than Germany and therefore makes a better three-way draw partner in the league. Turkey buys it and cooperates. 1908 builds. France breathes a sigh of relief when Turkey builds an army and not a fleet. England builds two fleets and France builds an army in Brest. 1909 is the real danger year for France. England is in by far the strongest position strategically and is a very real solo risk. He can go well ahead of France this year in centre count if he chooses to. But England-France is tight, and I'm confident that England is entirely committed to the three-way draw. France loses Munich back to Germany, but takes Vienna. England breaks the supposed three-way deal with Turkey and moves on Sevastopol. France pretends to get annoyed and tells both of them off, telling them to behave themselves. Germany offers to kingmake England, but England is committed to the two-way draw. 1909 fall. France eliminates Italy by taking Rome, Turkey reclaims Sevastopol, and England convoys to Holland. England builds an army in Edinburgh, France builds army Marseille. Spring 1910, France takes Trieste and Munich while bouncing England in the Irish Sea to prevent Germany's rogue fleet getting into mischief. And in the fall, England takes Berlin, France manages Romania, England allows his rogue southern fleet in Tuscany to be attacked and disbanded, which is a huge relief for France. So the 1910 builds, France nets 3 builds, whilst England stays static, giving them a 4-centre difference going into 1911. France is on 14 centres, England on just 10. Spring 1911, France takes Kiel, whilst England takes Denmark, allowing a German retreat to Sweden. England takes Serbia, and France follows behind with a convoy of Tuscany to Albania. France takes the Channel, suggesting to England that it would just add a bit of colour to the game and generate some interesting dialogue with Germany and Turkey. It would just be fun. England trusts to the point of being fine with that. Germany and Turkey offer to help France solo, which makes the solo decisive and easy. France is able to take 5 centres on the final turn with German and Turkish assistance. France walks into London and Holland. Turkey walks out of Greece and France walks in, as well as taking Budapest and Serbia. France ends the turn on 20 centres. In summary, this was an intense game. There were hundreds and hundreds of messages flying about. I think I probably had more control of what was going on across the board than most people realised. A number of things made the solo possible. Firstly, the Eastern powers didn't unite against the Western triple quickly enough and took Russia out prematurely. Old Turkey's diplomatic style didn't help their cause. Secondly, the trust between the Western triple partners allowed for some really very complex subterfuge. Thirdly, I knew England was fully engaged in the 1717, and I was confident he wouldn't take advantage post-stab of his 1909 strong position. And finally, by the end of the game, I had Italy, Germany and Turkey all offering to be vassals and to queenmake. All in all, despite some of the drama that developed around the game, it was a brilliant game with some great players. Thanks to everyone for making it the game it was. And Warsmith, I will see you in round 4. It's game on, my friend, for top dog. Although you and I both know that all that's going to happen is it will be taken down respective dark alleys and eliminated by 1903 tops. Thanks for listening to the Scottish Yin. Gillespie Pootle is signing out.